Hey guys, it's me, Delta 1. Hey guys, One here with Airsoft. It's me, Delta 1 here. Hey guys, it's Hey guys, it's me, Delta 1 here with Airsoft Talk. And today I have a video to behold. Echo 1 M240B, Echo 1 HMG, also known as the PKM. If you're wondering what I'm wearing, this is a Russian police force vest, and I'm wearing one of those stereotypical blue and white striped shirts. And a TTSKO hat, I believe. I'm not sure, I'm not very educated on all the Russian camos. Correct me if I am wrong. So today I'm going to compare these two behemoths, because this is probably one of the videos that I thought should be made, considering that 240 PKM. Okay. So, real still wise, I'm going to run through some facts, even though this may not really have a lot of relevancy to do with the video, but let's just list it off. 7.62 by 54R, which is what that belt is you see at the bottom of the screen, is a 250 round belt. This is what this fires. Ballistic wise, the 308 is a teeny bit better, so I've been told. Correct me if I'm wrong. In real life here in America, you can get this ammo like literally 1/8 cheaper. So, terms of accuracy wise, 308 is going to be a little more accurate, but moving on, rate of fire wise, that's faster, this isn't. Ammo capacity, in mags to my knowledge, the PKM is in a leading aspect at 250 rounds, and I believe it's like 100 round, correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, let's move on to the Airsoft one. Barrel length, I believe this one is a 550, this is a 509. Weight, they weigh about the same. I want to say this one is a teeny bit lighter. But in terms of like actually holding and shouldering the weapon and using it, this is by far superior. It is not as awkward as the 240, where the 240 weight distribution is really off because there's nothing in the back to weight it down. It's kind of like 60% and then 40%. With the PKM, it's just barrel and bipod. They've got a rail system on here, which, I mean, if you want to be all tactical and stuff, you can, but there's really no purpose. The reason I have a side forward grip there is because it is so awkward to hold. This is literally the only way you can hold it without it being super awkward. In terms of magazine capacity, they're almost the same. The PKM holds about, 700 to 1,000 more. Build quality on the mag, I'm going to say that one's better because that's cardboard, which is cardboard. Mine is literally falling apart and I haven't even used it. I don't know what's up with that. The glue on it just came apart. It's just whatever. It is what it is. In terms of build quality, that's just like random aluminum and like pot metal. That has got steel, pot metal, and aluminum, but it's got steel in all the right places. Now, in terms of breakage points, the 240 has a lot more severity in that area. The stock is extraordinarily fragile for me. It's only held in by 4 screws, which means you can't hold it under the arm with the stock here, in fear of it may break. The box mag is, again, fragile because it's cardboard. Battery compartment wise, that's better though, because you can house a large 5,000 milliamp 9.6, so you can house any 11.1 5000 in it. Now, in terms of tacticalness, that's better because you got a rail system here for an optic, which this is not what it comes with. I bought one of those just because it completes the 240. Now, replacement-wise, there's nothing I can find replacement-wise for a PKM at the moment, but there's enough real steel surplus out there to where you can pretty much replace everything but the receiver. You can get replacement stocks, top covers, pistol grip, trigger guard, bipod, box mag, which I tend to do. Now, in terms of price-wise, currently the 240, they released a newer model. I paid $750 for mine. which was a gift from a good friend, so I appreciate that Delta. I paid $750, and then I paid $560 retail. Now, I'm not super rich. My parents didn't buy me anything. I have a job. I work really hard for what I earn. This is literally the first gun I've bought in years. I'm just I have a lot. So, in terms of bipod-wise, the bipod on the 240 is fantastic, and along with the PKM, it is fantastic. So, they're both kind of there. In terms of sight-wise, I do prefer the 240 sights because they're just fantastic. They just are. In terms of shouldering it like this, the PKM is by far a lot easier to do that with. So that's better. When it finally comes down to performance, like gearbox-wise, this is where it's going to be this is where it makes the difference. This has got some weird custom hybrid gearbox, which is not, it's not the easiest thing to access from disassembly videos that I've noticed, because I'm too scared to work on it, because it's so expensive, and I don't want to break anything. Which it doesn't even work, because how the battery connects, literally, I didn't even hit it, and the battery the trigger switch literally just snapped, which is very disappointing. I don't know what's up with that. That, and the fact that takes forever to work on. It's got some weird custom hybrid V6 saw gearbox, doohickey mabob. This has just a modified M60 gearbox, which makes it instantaneously better. For one, it's literally virtually impossible to crack the shell on it from, like, at the front of the shell, because it's just a saw gearbox. It's literally, you could beat someone to death with the thing. It's so, just block of steel. You'd be like, I don't like the way you're talking to me, you know. Just whack sense into somebody with it. It's fantastic. Now, these both do use trigger switches, which is a very big disappointment. I really don't like why airsoft manufacturers made them. Because the original purpose for those micro switches are for your microwave, which are only rated for something like 5 amps, which is really low, because that's extraordinarily low. So you instantaneously have to be careful with how long you do your trigger burst, because that judges how long, you know, they'll last. But since both of these have MOSFETs, it helps, but the MOSFETs that are in them aren't the best in the world. You can buy, you know, super duper MOSFETs, but they're expensive. But these will do the job out of the box. If you're going to push ridiculous setups like I do, it's not going to cut it. Like where you're shooting, like, you know, 20 rounds a second for like 5,000 rounds straight. That's the type of stuff I like to do. Now, in terms of disassembly, this is better. I don't even have to watch a disassembly video for it to know it's better. Because I've seen the disassembly video on this. It would take you like 20-30 minutes to get the gearbox, I think. No, I take that back. I want to say if you do it skilledly, like Brian from Echo 1, I want to say about 10-15 minutes from his video. But he could have been doing it instruction-wise, and that takes longer, so I'll say, let's just be fair and say 10 minutes. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Moving on. That's going to have a little bit of a longer barrel, which is what it is, but the stocks, I want to compare the stocks for a second. You got a little hinge over here that flips out so you can rest down on it. You don't on that one. And I just feel so fragile messing with that stock. Like, I don't want to use it in fear that I may break it. So, this is a good $300, it's just about $300 more, I mean, yeah, about $300. $290 is how much more it is than this. You get less steel components than you do this. And I'm not trashing this gun. I don't want you to think I'm trashing this gun. I'm just pointing out facts here. This is a PKM. It's Russian. Most Russian stuff's meant to take a beating. And again, this is a modified from a trigger happy. It's just a lower end trigger happy, which trigger happies are outrageously expensive. Something like, I remember when the first one came out, it was like $2,300, which is holy crap expensive. Then they made like 1,700, and they released another one that was like 15 and 13, and then like 1,100, and then they made this. So it is what it is, but statistically wise, I have not fielded both of these yet. Again, because I never got this thing to work. I've shot this, but just by the weight, because when you carry this, all the weight is in the center. So you have 50-50 weight distribution. Well, I'm gonna say 52 at the front and 48 at the back to equal it out. Now this is get a little heavy just by me sitting here like this, but the thing is I can actually do this, whereas with the 240 I can't. It's just so awkward with the box mag, because the PKM box mag is on the bottom, which is a lot more convenient. Now they both do swivel extremely well. I guess I'll give the 240 that. The bipod does swivel a little bit better because it goes side to side, up and down, and kind of goes, where the PKM can't go like this, the 240 can. Now, in terms of weight, that may be a pound lighter actually. But the weight distribution on this thing is so well done, you don't really feel it. It feels lighter than what it is. Which is a very, very, very good thing, because no one wants an extraordinarily heavy front-end gun, because it's just awkward. But, sling mount-wise, I wouldn't run a sling on both of these. Well, actually, I'd run a sling on this thing. The sling mounts on here are wouldn't trust it to save my life. Especially this one, because I don't want to put any weight right here, because it's where my first stock originally came cracked. Again, if you're going for the more tactical approach, buy a 240. It's going to cost you a little bit more. If you're going for the actual practicality route, where it's more effective, this is better. Because it's just better weight distributed. It's a 509mm barrel will go. That'll take you anywhere you want to go in terms of support and reaching out there. Whereas the 240 has a good gearbox setup, but it's not as perfect as this one is. In terms of the MOSFET wise and mag operating system, I would much prefer the 240 over this one, because I don't give a crap about adjustable rate of fire, which is what this has. And I'm going to go in and figure out and make a tutorial for y'all on how to get rid of that, because I just don't care for it. And make it to where you can power the mag off its own battery source, and have the gearbox functioning off its own battery source instead of it going off one, because I don't like the idea of that. Now, these are both great machine guns. This one's just more expensive and requires a lot of work, whereas this one still requires a lot of work to do what I want to do. Now, these can both perform great out of the box, because that comes with a full metal rack piston, which is fantastic. I don't know about this one yet. I haven't seen a full production model of this yet. I'm hoping that it's going to have a Mad Bull green piston in it. I really hope I open that up and that's what I see in it, because that's a full metal rack, and I'll be satisfied with that, because that means you can just go do whatever you want with this thing. So both of the gearbox designs are great. This one's better in my opinion. Carry handle wise, this one's better. I trust it. This is actually steel. This is steel, but it feels thin and like sheet metal. So now you may be wondering, if I'm to buy one of these, which one should I buy? Personally, that's a personal preference option. If you're on a budget, this is better, because it's literally $290 cheaper, and the gearbox design is better. If money is no object to you, go for that, because it's a 240. Now, this is not a PKP. I want to stress that, because I know people are going to say it. This is a PKM. It's totally different in a lot of aspects. But again, this is my comparison. I know this may not be the best comparison, and I don't want to sound like I'm downing both of them. I'm just listing the pros and the cons, and unfortunately there's more cons than pros sometimes, and that's just how it is. But, you know, the pro to it is that it's fixable and there are replacement parts as far as I know for this, and then you can get any real steel component pretty much except for the receiver for this thing. So, I mean, what's better than having real steel components, because it is more strong. So, now for my personal, which one I would choose, it'd definitely be the PKM, because on paper, statistically, this is better, because you have bigger mag, more gearboxes, easier to just do stuff with. I can get all the real steel components I need. It's just a matter of price. Bigger mag, build quality, in my opinion, because this feels kind of like if you've ever held an A&K M60, you know how the body feels. That's what this 240 feels like. But yeah, I would go for the PKM. Simple as that. The only thing I wish the PKM had that it doesn't have is that I guarantee you this was to save money, and it probably saved a big chunk of change off of the cost, is a real steel PKM side mount, which they do make optics for, because if they did, I would have bought one. I would have bought an optic for it, and that would have been sick as shit. Would have been super awesome. But beggars can be choosers. I'm just happy to have a PKM. So, guys, I hope this video was informative enough for you. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, I'm not trying to sit here and say, you know, this sucks, you know, blah, blah, blah. This is just giving out information if you're looking to buy either of these two awesome machine guns. You know, and I'm just trying to help you guys out because, you know, these are fairly expensive price tag items, and, you know, you want to make sure you know everything you can about these items because it's a lot of money to shell out. But, again, if you're going to buy any of these things, I would definitely not get the Chinese ones. I would totally tell you to buy the Echo 1 versions because you get the warranty. Because, again, my stock came broken on my Echo 1 and Airsplat told me to just basically screw off. So I went to Echo 1 immediately and said, hey, I never even received a warranty card in my box. Showed the proof of unboxing, showed my proof of purchase. Brian from Echo 1 literally sent me a stock that day, got it in 3 days. Didn't even tell me I didn't even have to send my broken one back because I was going to modify it and put a real Mag 58 stock on it, which is the civilian style 240. So, I mean, and then, you know, replacement parts for these can be expensive, so buying the Echo 1 versions is a lot better because, again, you have someone you can call and talk to, and the fact that they have the parts and they're willing to work and help with you. They give you a warranty, and they replace the hop-up bucking most of the time, which is a great thing because hop-up buckings are important, and that's literally the first thing I replace in all my guns. So you don't have to do that, which is great. So, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. And again, my mission, if you learned something from me, that makes my day. And then I know that I've done my job right. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, life is good. And I'll see you in the next video. I have a PKM, by the way.